Oh. Okay. Right? Put your earphones on. I'm now live. Oh, wow. There's a ton of people here.
Good. How many?
Hey, everybody. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, bunch. A lot. Anybody else? I don't do lives like this. This sounds great. Anybody that wants to come on with a camera or a what do you call it? A microphone, you're more than welcome. Hi from Virginia. Hi Ottawa. Hi Topper. Good evening from Scotland. Wow, that's impressive. There's Canada, Ottawa, Texas, Dublin, South Africa. Wow, France. Wow. Thank you for doing this chat. I'm waiting for my flight to Boston and it's boring. I'm sorry. I don't fly well, as you guys, if you know anything about my Hawaii trip, I don't fly well. I don't do technology. Okay, does anybody want me to put the link? I'm going to put the link. Hang on one second. Let me copy. Okay, it's just going to take me a minute. I'm not very good with this. There. You can click on that link if you have a camera and video, and you're free to come on. Okay, I'm here now. Let's go England. Have a good time in Boston. South Africa. Tennessee. Oh my God. So many people from so far away. Does anybody want to click the link? Or is everybody just going to sit there and stare at me? Click the link. Click the link. Liverpool, New Zealand, Sardinia, Sydney. Oh my God. Brazil. Stone Mountain, Georgia. Been there. Love it. Too shy. Don't be too shy. Melanie, come on. There's the StreamYard. Somebody grow a pair. Come on, click it. Click it. Stare. I'm unmade up. Hello? Unmade up. Really? I'm 4 a.m. in Australia. I don't think the world needs to see me in my morning style. Why not? They've seen me in my morning style. Dang. I'm soaking in the tub, so I'll pass. Okay, that one I get. I'm trying to log into my laptop. Fabulous. Okay, well, while people are trying to log in and somebody else said I don't have a pair, there's Robin.
Well, I'm so pleased to be here for your Vanguard, your launch of the live. How great is this? Boy, I am so into what you're doing. I
Robin,
gotta
do
tell
you have a camera, or are you camera shy?
well, I'll show you why, because yeah,
You look great.
okay, well, thanks. You can see all of my flotsam and jetsam there behind me because
That's
I
okay.
was.
That's
Well,
okay.
so anything new coming down the pike that you're gonna be reporting on?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's something new coming down the pike.
Oh, when do we get to know?
I did. Okay, wait. Somebody else. Whoever is Dell.plumber@gmail, you don't have a mic or a camera. So
Oh,
therefore, it will not allow me to add
oops.
you. I'm sorry. You'll need to do one or the other,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
you gotta have all the things.
You got to have all the things. Yeah. See, the other lives that people do where they talk and they just pull stuff up out of the wording, it goes by so fast that I'm just like, I don't want to do that. I'd rather just see you and talk to you. You know what I mean? Just see you and
Yeah.
talk to you. So anyway, okay. Yes, there is something good coming down the pike.
Ooh,
Okay, so
ooh.
obviously the video tomorrow is going to cover a lot of news and of course the Earthshot Prize because I've done a whole thing on the Earthshot Prize.
I saw that that Annie Lennox
Yes, Annie
performed.
Lennox was there. Yes,
Yeah.
I love her and her outfit. She's not one of those one that shows up in the fancy dress.
No,
No, she had on
she,
like pants and like a multicolored like
she doesn't care.
scarf. I know that's what I love about her. And her hair was super short.
Yeah, as always. Yeah, my boss looked just like Annie Lennox. Bless had this. Yeah, same face, same silver hair. Yeah. It was every time I went into work, I would think I'm coming in to work for Annie Lennox. So I'm here in Los Angeles.
All right. I am not.
I know. You're
Oh, wait, we got somebody else.
Hi, Sue.
We got Joni.
Hey, Joni.
Hi, Joni. Anybody else? Feel free. Click through.
Oh no, I'm seeing myself.
I know, isn't it?
Guess what? Everybody can see you.
It's always a shock to what?
She has the echo. Go now that are you on StreamYard?
Hold on.
Yeah, close your YouTube.
Close your YouTube if you're on
Okay.
StreamYard.
Okay.
Did you close the YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, now you don't have an echo. There you go.
Way better. Oh, how
Way
cute your
better.
background is.
Oh,
Oh,
thank you. My daughter did that for
know.
me.
I love that. You know, I miss having stuff up on my walls. But I didn't want to put anything up in the apartment because you get charged for damage and
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yep. My daughter-in-law took the pictures because she does photos, and I have some framed, and then my daughter did the wording for me.
Nice.
Wow, those photos are gorgeous.
And it's really level. That's some good measuring.
Yeah,
boy.
I couldn't do that.
Me neither. I would. I know.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
It'd be all wonky if I did it.
Okay, so you guys, the link is in there. If you have a camera, again, something with Dell.plumber. Whatever. Doesn't have a camera or a mic, so you can't join. Sorry.
Oh, that's too bad. So, do you do the paid version of StreamYard or the freebie? Because you can have like what 9 people on the $25 a month or
I
something.
haven't gotten that far. Let me tell you something. This is not a lie. In case you haven't picked it up yet, I suck at technology. Like I'm really bad. And I had to have, not that I regret it, but I had the Duchess of Mana, you know what show on. Because she showed me how to do StreamYard, how to connect it. She had to teach me how to make an account. This is so above my pay grade. I am not a tech person in the least.
Oh, but one thing about StreamYard, if you score dull normal on tests, it's good for you. I'm a really old lady. I mean, really old, and it was okay for me. There is a learning curve, but boy, StreamYard is the most friendly, user-friendly platform. OBS sucks because that's for gamers.
I don't even know what OBS is.
Oh, you don't need to know. No.
Okay, it says, can Robin fix her camera? What's wrong with Robin's camera?
Okay, what? You want to see my collapsed face from bad dentures?
Girl, you look so cute.
Oh,
You're so
thanks.
cute.
Oh, thanks. I'm really old, but thanks.
Okay, now I have to say, Patricia wrote, Sue, are you coming to England for the coronation? In my dreams.
Oh,
The
wouldn't that
tickets to
be?
get there for the coronation, the tickets for the hotel, I could never afford that, all of that. It's just too expensive. I can't do it. I
That's
can't
like
do it.
a big, big destination trip of a
Now,
lifetime.
let me just say while I'm on here for everybody, especially people in the UK, this past September we went to Hawaii. This coming September, I'm going to Rome. Husband and I are going to hit Rome and then the UK. And
Okay.
so you guys email me all the things you think I should see and do in the UK, and I'm going to make a list, and then we're going to decide what we can do and what we can't.
Okay, I will not recommend having haggis. That awful thing. Oh no, that's Scotland. Well, that's part of the UK,
Well,
huh?
I mean, I'm going to be in London. I mean, I want to see like Whitehall Chapel. I want to see Westminster
Oh,
Abbey. I want to see, the
oh,
touristy stuff.
yeah. The
So
Tower of Big Ben, the
Big Ben,
rosy
I
red.
understand, is still covered. They're
Oh,
still working
really?
on it, and it's still covered, I was told. So anyway, so Joni,
Yes.
tell me what you think about all of what's going on. Yeah, you're gonna have to give your opinion.
Okay.
And
What,
don't be afraid. No, don't be afraid to give your honest opinion.
what particular are you? There's so much happening.
This lady Hussey and this lady named Marlene who changed her name to something that's not pronounceable.
Okay. I think they're making it so much bigger than what it needs to be. I do not believe it was she was being racist. As you can see, I'm African American. I do not think that, at least that's not how she meant it. I think that a lot of African Americans will play the race card or be super sensitive because of what
Maybe a past experience or something.
there could be 1,000,004 reasons as to why why we are like that. But I don't think that if we look for racism, we're going to find it. Okay.
Exactly.
And I think with as much what is it? What's the word I'm looking for? With as much as we want people to accept us and to look at us with courtesy and with not judge us by how we look, we should also do that as well. I think that the palace is making a big mistake if indeed they did not give her a chance, Lady
Hussey.
a chance to explain. And if they just took Marlene's word as to how things happen, I think that was a big mistake on their part. And if I had anything to say to Prince William, King Charles, I would say, this is going to be a hard walk that they're going to do, because from what I've seen of Meghan is that she's a Black Lives Matter person, and she's on this agenda of just it, and it doesn't it's not just toward King Charles and the monarchy, because they did that here in the United States, and I'm probably going to get a lot of people upset with me, but this is how I felt. I feel that Black Lives Matter is not truly about promoting the African American life. They made us look really bad. And in fact, I was telling my daughter, I said, how Meghan Markle is acting and the gender that she's promoting I'm so embarrassed. I'm embarrassed as a Black African American woman who I am very proud of my heritage. I'm embarrassed as an American because of how she's presented us to the world. Yeah. I'm embarrassed that she is promoting an agenda that's trying to bring down any structured establishment. Just like when the Black Lives Matter happened here in the United States, they were about bringing down the police and anything that's in authority that goes against what their agenda was. And I thought that's wrong. You know.
Let me ask you something. By the way, hello, Beverly. She joined.
Hi, Beverly.
Hello.
I'm the only one who's from England, by the way.
Oh, fabulous. Okay. I don't know if you watched my video the other day. What did you think of my theory? Or did you watch it? Here's my theory.
Yeah,
Let me refresh for those who didn't watch it. Here's my theory. We know that Mr. Harmon, the photographer, is very good friends with Meghan Markle. He took her pregnancy photo on an iPad. He took the photos of Lilibet at her birthday party at Frogmore. They're such good friends. And they were going for this Ripple of Hope Award that people were making a joke of the Ripple of Hope Award.
Yeah, what is that?
It's a joke. And so I think they needed to get the stamp of approval on that award. So I think Shouty Shola started it by attacking Camilla at the Paddington Bear thing with the arm. Honey, I wouldn't touch that kid either. If you watch the full video, the kids were coughing and sneezing and wiping their noses and it's germ fest. So she grabbed her by the shirt and then she picked her up and said, "Oh, what a lovely bracelet." So what Shouty Shola did was she manipulated the video. Now, when she was called to task for manipulating the video, she deleted her tweet. She deleted the video. So then I'm thinking they're wondering, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And Mr. Holloman, or however you say his name, was like, I know somebody in the UK that hates the royal family and loves Meghan Markle. I bet she could get something for us. She's going to the palace on such and such day. Would you mind? And everybody was like, well, how would he know the people at Sista?
Yeah.
He took their photos.
Yeah.
He took the photos for that charity. He has a direct link between Meghan and that charity. Sorry.
Well, there's something else.
Sorry.
So there's something else that someone else has picked up on YouTube. Sorry, I've got all the cats here. And they did I think it's a scene view or something where you can go into someone's Twitter account and you can see what they're doing, how many tweets they're sending out, and they did this on Sister Space, and straight after the incident, she is tweeting to people who are also tweeting to other people who are in the Sussex squad, and there was literally thousands of Twitters going on straight after the incident. So it was planned, it was organized, and she wasn't invited under her own merit.
Right, she piggybacked on somebody else, I heard.
Someone else got an invite, and they said, well, you're doing the same thing, you come along. And I think that's how she got in. And it's believed that she was aiming to trick or bait Camilla. Because, of course, if they baited Camilla, she can't be sacked.
Well, my thing is, I don't like it. Here's my thing, and I've said this before in my videos. I've said this a million times in my videos. Credibility is everything. If I catch you in a lie, you're a liar. And she was asked on Jeremy Vine, had you ever tweeted about Meghan Markle? And she goes, no. And then the tweets came out, and then that she had tweeted about Meghan Markle on the charity, no less. And then
just kidding.
Yeah. And then they asked her, she put in her tweet, I was standing in the corner of the room and I wasn't talking to anybody. I was, and she was
right in the middle.
Right in the middle of the room, talking to Camilla and, touching some other woman on the arm. Like, so she lied.
And whenever
a liar.
When everyone else is in their woolens and their little three-piece things and their heels, the woman comes in garb that is obviously an ethnic manner of dress with the hair and the colors. And why would that not invite a query as, oh, tell me about yourself? Perhaps the question was posed awkwardly. This was an old woman. I get old women and their questions. So maybe it wasn't a graceful question, but gosh, it was just showing an interest in this woman. It's like it was timed,
And she was wearing a headband with the colors of the African flag. That's why she asked her. and then, and I also put in my video, she, she gave an interview to somebody. I can't remember right now. It's slipping my brain. She gave an interview to somebody, and the person she gave the interview to said, "Where are you from?" And she told them, "I'm from Barbados." I'm blah 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 blah. She was intentionally giving short,
Stonewalling. Yeah.
nondescript.
She was extremely rude in her answers when she
She was
first
rude.
talking to her.
Yeah.
I asked all the time, where am I from? You
The,
know,
the
Well, and it prompts the question when you come in that sort of a costume when everyone else is looking like everybody else, and you come
I'm
up.
sorry, that was one hot mess.
you're right.
And
Right.
the hair.
Her to
and-
show up looking like that.
She looked-
I saw her when I first saw the picture before I even learned what was going on. I thought, you would go to Buckingham Palace looking like,
dressed like that.
you know, I kind of
yeah.
didn't, that I was kind of put off with that. But you know, people do what they want to do these days. But
Now let me.
but see, I personally think she took a Lady C's question and she put that little spin on it, but she baited her first. She
Ah.
she went out of her way to try to not answer the question. Usually if you ask where are you from, you know, my first thought is, well, I'm here.
And you say it with pride, my
Oh.
heritage.
Like, it's like, where am I from? I was born in Manhattan. I was
Mhm.
born in Manhattan. Where are your people from? Half is from Austria. My mother, believe it or not, had blonde hair and green eyes and pale skin. I look nothing like her. And the other half was Russian.
Right. People look at me, they look at my cheekbones, they look at whatever, and I'm talking about African American people look at me and say, where are you from? Where are your
So
people
even
You almost look
African
familiar.
American.
So it's a question, you know, that you don't look for offense in, but I think she went there looking to be offended.
Well, okay,
Oh,
let me just say this. I think things are coming to a head. Let me tell you why. You wanted to know if something good was coming, Robin.
yeah.
Something good is coming. Okay, first of all, I do believe that William and Charles are going to do an investigation. They have invited this woman, Marlene, to the castle for a sit down. And I think the first thing they're going to do is ask her why she tweeted that they were violent and domestically abused Meghan Markle. Because that is defamation. That you could get sued over making statements like that. That's defamation. I have a feeling that after they check her for recording devices and everything else, when they sit down for that talk with her, I think they're going to have a lot to say to her about her behavior on social media. She now wants to go back and okay. So let me finish what I got off track. ADHD brain going off track. So I've said before, and I'll say it again. At this point, if they don't do something, if they don't rip off that Band-Aid, it's just going to get worse. I think at this point, Charles should say, as he did in his first speech as king, when he said, my son across the ocean, he made it clear, no way back. I think, and that was a message. I always felt that he was giving them a message. So I think at this point, what they should do is they should say, listen, you want out of this institution. You say we're terrible. You say we're racist. So we're going to give you what you want. We're removing your titles.
I hope so.
You're no longer the Duke and Duchess. You're no longer the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. We're not giving titles to your children. You wouldn't want them to be associated with such a racist institution. Therefore, we're going to let you do what you said you wanted to do. What you said you wanted was to give your children a private life and upbringing. Therefore, there will be no titles for your children. And also, so that you won't be pulled back in, we are going to go ahead and remove you and your children from the line of succession.
Brilliant.
And you're no longer a counselor of state. You're still my son. We love you. Come visit when you want, but you're done. You're not a duke. You're not in the line of succession. You don't have a title. Your kids don't have titles. But feel free to come by at Christmas sometime.
Stop by for some nog.
If Charles doesn't take decisive action at this
Yeah.
point, then
Exactly.
whatever happens to the royal family, they
Mhm.
deserve. This don't complain, don't explain mantra isn't working anymore.
They gotta give that up. This is the internet, y'all.
I mean, I understand they don't want to sit down. I understand that they don't want to sit down and they don't want to, what's the word? If they sit down and give an interview, they're fueling the fire.
Yeah.
And then Harry and Meghan are going to want to do another interview to answer all of the questions. But I think if they were to sit down and say, listen, this is what happened. And if Catherine were to say, she made Charlotte cry, she made me cry. Look what happened at the wedding. We couldn't even allow Charlotte to walk back down the aisle with the other kids. We've never had that happen before. We had to take their hands and walk them down separately to keep them from being bullied by Meghan's, by her friend's daughter. We had to separate them because she was unable to control her daughter. This happened. I did this. She got mad. She claimed we never reached out. I reached out. She shut the door in my face. You know what I mean? If it were to all come out and then they were to say, at this point, we know that Harry and Meghan are going to want to do another victim narrative, whatever.
Yeah.
But we will not address anything else because we've decided to give them the freedom that they wanted. They say we're a horrible racist family. We don't want to saddle their children with titles, and we don't want them to be saddled with us. So here's what we're going to do for them. Da 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 da. We love you. Bye bye.
Yeah, I'm sure they're like analyzing it, and the consultants and the people around them. I'm sure they're trying to figure out the best way to go with this. So silence right now is probably the best thing for them, because once they start excusing, explaining, then that'll open the gate. Okay, let's have some more explanations.
Well, but again, it's they need. The truth of the matter is, when the Queen did all that and stripped their patronages, she should have stripped the titles then too. She should have just said, "You're not the Duke and Duchess of Sussex anymore. You're Prince Henry. You can call yourself Princess Henry, but not Princess Meghan. Princess Henry. Have a nice day. Move on."
The trouble is, the Queen and even the King, they haven't got the right to take the titles away from them now. That's why we're having the second bill. The second bill is being read on the 8th. If they agree it, I think on the 9th you probably see them off. Because if you look back at the history, the only times that any royal has done an interview, it's been disastrous. Charles, when he admitted, Diane.
Oh, Diana. Oh, that was so awful.
Literally straight after that, the Queen said, right, that's it. No more. Divorce. Andrew, why didn't he just drown him, but bury a bigger hole? I mean, he was just burying himself. And whoever gave him advice on that, I don't know.
His daughter did. That was Eugenie and Beatrice who told him to do that.
Okay, which one is the one with the eyes that stick out?
Oh, that's Beatrice. She looks so much like Queen Victoria. She's like
she does.
She scares. She scares me. She scares me.
But the only other ones who have done interviews or whatever, Princess Anne has, and Prince Philip. But Prince Philip has always said, you talk about the charity, the work, and what you're representing. You don't talk about yourself. That's not what you're here for. You're here to represent.
Okay. I have to. My neighbor's knocking on my door. We're going to go for an old lady walk, you guys, because you need to stay.
Go get it, Robin. Go get it, Robin.
Okay. Oh boy, you guys, I love every damn one of you. Thank you. This has been an experience, Sue. Thanks. I hope you do this again.
We'll do it again.
Okay, see you. Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
I
might have to go.
The dog, Joni. Where's the doggy? Look.
Bailey. She's laying down next to me. Come here. Come on.
Oh,
This is Bailey. Can you see her?
Hi, Bailey.
And yeah,
Bailey. He
she's
doesn't.
getting pictures.
She's
Oh
waiting for me to give her a treat, and I keep trying to keep her calm.
Oh, look, and there's the kitty. Yeah, Finn is with
One of them.
Obi.
One of them.
But it wouldn't matter because part of Finn's issue still is if I try to pick him up, it's so weird. He'll sleep with me at night. He'll snuggle with me at night. But if I try to pick him up, like physically pick him up, he's terrified and he doesn't want me to.
Hold on.
Maybe eventually.
I'm gonna sit over here.
And
Over
he-
the other way.
Oh, look at.
There's Angel.
Oh,
Angel.
Angel. Okay, a couple of people have written, can the princess title be taken off too? She doesn't have a princess title.
No.
Harry has a prince title, so hers is honorary. So you only have to strip it from
Yeah.
Harry. Just like if you take the Duke away from him, she's not a duchess anymore. It's an honorary.
She's basically Meghan, Princess Harry, or Princess Henry.
She'll be Princess
Okay.
Henry.
Yeah,
She won't be Princess Meghan.
she never
Okay.
was. She never would be.
So
You
Joan-
can only
Can they take the prince title away from Harry?
No, he's a prince of the blood. They can't. Joni, people are saying like, you are a breath of fresh air.
Oh,
Love you. You're so
Thank you.
cute.
thank you.
You are cute. You got on there like, oh.
Uh,
Okay, so here's the next bit of information. I will put this all together in a video for everybody just so that you can follow along. Is everybody listening? Everybody online listening? Everybody in the comment section listening to this? Here's a good one. Oh, wait, we have another person to add. Hold on before I do this. Jennifer.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hi.
Hi. Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Let me throw this out real quick, Jennifer, so I don't lose my train of thought. Here we go. Who is this? Somebody named Dell Plummer. Hello.
Hello,
Hi, who is this?
this is Dell Plummer.
Do you have a
Hi,
name? Del?
Hey,
Oh, there's another one. Bela Wolf.
Good morning.
Hey. I love it when people join. Okay. So here's what I was going to say. Let me do this because I do have ADHD. It'll go straight out of my head. Okay. So here's I don't know if you guys remember, and I am going to put it together, not in tomorrow's video, because tomorrow's video is a catch up, and then we're going to cover the Platinum Jubilee. You know how I do that. Oh, that dress. Okay. So if you remember when Harry was on that tech thing and he did he did an interview and he said 65% of all of the tweets about my wife come from 50 accounts on Twitter and 65% of come from YouTube. He got that information from Bot Sentinel. Also at the time, he admitted that he's on the internet, even though they supposedly don't have social media accounts. Obviously, he has a social media account, because if he didn't, he wouldn't know to call Jack Dempsey and tell him that Twitter was being used as a staging area, right? So we know they're actually on social media. So he mentioned something about Bot Sentinel, and that's about the time that Christopher Boozy came on the scene and started all this on Twitter. I'm sure most of you are aware of what I'm talking about. I would hope most of you are aware of what I'm talking about. Anybody who,
Sue, may I interject a second?
yes,
You're aware of what's going on with Nate the lawyer in New York on his channel, and
if you're talking about the
Christopher
laws,
Belcher and Boozy and all that going on. They're suing him.
if you're talking about him being suing,
Yeah.
yes, I'm aware of the lawsuit and the Jason Goodman lawsuit. As a matter of fact, I'm the one who told them about the Jason Goodman lawsuit. I sent them the paperwork. Okay. So anyway, then Christopher Boozy showed up. Then anybody who tweeted anything about Meghan Markle, then Yankee Wally started being horribly harassed on Twitter and YouTube because she was talking about the surrogacy, and all of a sudden, poof, she was gone. And then poof, Meghan's Murky Meg was gone, and everybody's like, wait a minute, what's going on? Well, even now with the API, they won't throw him. And I'm like, what's happening here? Then the article came out. I think, don't quote me, I think it was Rolling Stone. I could be wrong. I think it was Rolling Stone that said that Christopher also worked not only for Amber Heard, but for Meghan Markle. And then Christopher came back and said, I never said I worked for Meghan Markle. Take that out of the article. And they took it out of the article. Okay. Well, the big news is apparently, allegedly, there was a Spaces on Twitter last night with Christopher Boozy, and he admitted at the end of the Spaces that he's in Harry and Meghan's documentary.
Mm.
So that basically confirms that he's working for Harry and Meghan.
Mm-hmm.
So Harry and Meghan's whole thing is to try to control the narrative, and anybody who says anything about Meghan, they want gone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of people to try to get gone.
Mm-hmm.
You can't control the narrative that way.
Nope.
They put out positive PR puff pieces all over Twitter. It ain't helping. In my
I'm
opinion.
going to have to go because my thing's running low. I'm on about 5%. If I can get the other tablet, I'll use that and get back
And
in.
come back. We'll be here for another 25 minutes.
Okay, fine.
Okay, bye.
Come on.
Bye.
This one's got to go. Come.
So yes, I am well aware of the lawsuit, and they are aware of me. When that one guy, what is his name? Was it Nate?
Nate
Not
the lawyer.
Popcorn,
Yeah.
not Popcorn Planet, but the one who's in Korea.
Nate the lawyer.
Nate the lawyer.
Yeah.
I spoke to him while I was in Hawaii.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I gave him permission to use my videos without a copyright infringement. He went in because I did videos showing how Christopher Boozy was harassing people and threatening people. He released my son's, autism diagnosis. He did all kinds of really nasty things, and they were unaware. Then I ended up on Popcorn Planet.
So funny, Sue.
I didn't find that funny at all.
Well, the funny thing is, Christopher Melcher with Nate the lawyer, they're going after him aggressively. So,
Yes.
I mean, it's all coming back. And no, nothing that they did to attack you, Yankee Wally, anybody. It's insidious, it's egregious, and it's untenable that's doable in these days.
Well, I again with them, they're all about misinformation, right? Misinformation.
Right. Yeah.
Have you guys seen how and then I don't want to talk about this man because I think he's just a scam artist in my opinion. But you guys saw that Christopher Boozy's trying to start his own platform, and he told everybody that he was hiring a graphic artist and the donations were going to pay for the graphic artist. And then come to find out that this whale that he put up, he had from 2017. So all of the money that he's collecting isn't going where he's telling people it's going. He's never shown receipts for where any, unlike Nate, who shows where everything is going. He's never done that. And at one point he held a Spaces. I do have the copies of those. People recorded it and sent it to me. They were disgusted. And he said he was going to sue me. I knew he didn't have a case. For what? You're going to sue me for what? Like, come on. And but he did a GoFundMe, and he got a whole big whopping $75.
Wow.
Just enough for his taxi cab and his McDonald's.
Yeah, because you really can't get an attorney for that in New York.
No, he'd have to come to my state, and he'd have to find somebody here willing to take his case, and he'd have to prove everything he said, which is not true. He told people that I disseminated his address and sent death threats. None of that's true.
Of course not. I would think most people would assume that was a vicious lie, but it has to have some satisfaction in that he's getting sued by two very aggressive New York lawyers.
He called that one guy a crackhead. No, his parents
Yes,
were crackheads or something.
And Nate is very open about his parents and the challenges he went through growing up and how
He should be
successful he became.
applauded. He should be
Yes,
applauded for
exactly.
rising himself up. But Boozy told everybody that he was planting evidence on people when he was a prosecutor and that there were innocent people in jail. And now I saw that his attorney says we're using the First Amendment, freedom of speech. That's not freedom of speech. That's defamation.
Defamation.
He's gonna lose.
So,
Yes, Jennifer.
night. Well, lovely to be here with you ladies. Can I just tell you that my mom lives with us. She's 83. She was born and raised in Manitoba, Canada. She's now a US citizen. So she's instilled in me, ever since I was small, a love of the Queen, the monarchy, the Commonwealth. I lived in the UK for 2 years. It's where I had my twins there. And whether we're talking about Christopher Bouzy, whether we're talking about the Netflix, whether we're talking about everything that's been going on, what is the deal? Why do they think that the average UK citizen or the average American who's paying close attention, who's watching these videos, whether we're watching mainstream media, whether we're watching the YouTube communities, what do they think? We don't have a brain, we don't have eyes, we don't have ears, we can't see.
Because I'm a middle-aged white woman. Apparently I'm deaf.
You know what? There are so many of us. I don't care what color you are, okay? I'm half Mexican, half white. I grew up in California in the late 70s, 80s. I don't remember ever having such a emphasis on the color of your skin, the color of your skin, the color of your skin. I went to school with Asian people, with Black people, with Mexican people, with white people. We never even entertained that. And now I feel like we're back at square one, and it's so disheartening and heartbreaking, especially when you consider all of the wonderful, admirable work that the Queen, over 70 years?
Yes.
She welcomed every color, every culture, every creed. She was so gracious. And then to have this, it's just heartbreaking. It really is.
It is.
I knew when they made Meghan and Harry president and vice president of the Commonwealth, which there wasn't a vice president of the Commonwealth, they made that position for her.
It was wonderful. That was awesome.
It was fabulous. Let me tell you something. This woman, never has one woman been given so much and screwed it up. That's all I can say. Like Joni's shaking her head. And I'm saying that because all she did was give a bunch of Zoom calls where she said the Commonwealth was this, and we're going to have to be uncomfortable because we're going to have these discussions. Schatzi, ich bin durstig. Bitte. Dankeschön. Never has anybody been so, if anything, race relations since she came on the scene are worse.
Lovely.
She's made everything worse.
But you know, I've watched you almost since the very beginning, my mom and I. And it's so hysterical because we'd watch your videos and it's almost like we were talking back to the screen as you were talking. Every 5 seconds we're like, yeah, hello, you know. So
Correct.
I personally think that the mainstream sentiment is very much what is going on here? Like, what is this constant barrage of this inaccuracies and these lies? And I mean, how many documented inaccuracies and fallacies were there just in the Oprah interview alone? I think you had said up to 17.
There were 17 of them. They were either flat out lies, or they were so stretched. Like when she said, we got married in the backyard 3 days earlier, but nobody knew it. If the Archbishop of Canterbury had done that, that would have been a crime. He could have been arrested. But, you know, then she said,
Hello?
What? Where did everybody go?
I think we lost Sue.
No, come back, Sue.
Wait, we lost Sue.
Yeah.
Sue's here.
I love Sue's channel while she's gone.
I went to answer somebody's private question and I hit the wrong button. Okay. Then she said, What was the next thing she said? She said, oh, my sister changed her name back to Markle as soon as I started dating Harry. And then the picture came out. Lie, that happened 10 years earlier. Then she slut shamed her sister. 3 children by 3 different fathers. Incorrect.
Well, I
Not
think if you
true.
actually zoomed in on Samantha's diploma, I think
Yes.
there's a few people that debunked that right there.
It said Samantha Markle. When Harry said, my father cut me off financially and cut off my security and blah, blah, blah. What he forgot, these were lies of omission, because what he didn't say was, and I only had my mother's, trust fund money. He didn't tell everybody that the trust fund was worth like $30 million.
That's all.
That's about what it was worth. That his dad had been giving him millions before he cut him off and gave him a final payment of 3.1 million that came out.
Boo-hoo.
And he says, my dad cut me off. Yet your dad got sick of your phone calls because all you did was beg for money. When Meghan said they didn't give him a title because they didn't want him to be a prince. And then that's not true. There was the King George V convention, which she even mentioned. She was well aware of it. I mean, they couldn't even get their story straight about the skin color. She said there were multiple conversations while she was pregnant. Harry comes out and says there was one conversation while we were dating. And you know what the scuttlebutt is on that conversation? The scuttlebutt is that Camilla said, wouldn't it be hilarious if the baby had her skin tone and your color hair? And Harry apparently laughed and thought it was funny. And when he told Meghan, she said it was racist. That's what that whole thing was, supposedly. Yes, Joni.
I just saw a question where someone asked me if my family and friends feel like I do. And I just want to say, yes, they do. Okay. And I also want to say my family is mixed. We have everything in our family. And the thing, when you have intermarrying, interracial marriages. In fact, if you just saw my grandson, he's mixed. He was walking through here a minute ago. You don't walk in trying to tell people your agenda and to be like how you want.
But that's what she did.
That's what she did. And you don't want, and what you try to do is meld everything together. I hope I'm answering your question, of how we feel, how Meghan has handled things. I believe Harry has helped in the mishandling of how she's done things.
Can I interject a comment? Because
Sure.
I'm one of those people, if I don't interject right then, it's going out of my head.
Mm-hmm.
Harry, I think early on realized he'd made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But because he went against the Queen, because he pissed off William, he couldn't bring himself to admit that he made a mistake.
And now he's stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because the pictures that I've seen of them together, and when they think the cameras aren't there, like that one where he was giving the speech and she leans in and she's wearing that shirt called Raising the Future. Did you see my video of him?
Yes.
Yeah. Here's what they wanted you to see, and here's what he did. He went and shook his head like that. He looked miserable.
It's like he always looks.
He always looks miserable.
But when she married into that institution, I think it was a very immature view on her part of what it was about. There was no sense of respect or appreciation for what that institution represented. And it was such a waste of a platform, Sue.
Mm-hmm.
It was such a waste of a platform. And, being from California myself, around the same age as Meghan, although I'm a little bit older, I was kind of like, this is so awesome to have a biracial girl from California representing. And she seems well put together. She seems very just smart. And to have everything just play out the way that it did, I mean, she would have been such a valuable asset to the monarchy, and especially, like you said, how you reminded us in the beginning, Sue, about how when the Queen appointed them vice president or president, or I'm sorry, what was it? Of the Commonwealth?
President and vice president of the Commonwealth.
So to be given the honor, that honorary position, she was in such a special position to do so much good. She could have championed multiple sclerosis.
Mhm.
She had the biggest platform.
You have sisters suffering from MS. She
and
could have.
She let it go.
There's so many things that she could have taken and ran with, and been such a valuable, wonderful asset to William and Catherine as well. They really could have been the Fab Four had she had some, you know, I hate to say this, but had she had some semblance of a soul, she would have been able to recognize, my goodness, I have an opportunity to help William, to help Catherine, and they would have shown in their own right. I really think if they would have played their cards right, they would have been just as, if not as popular as William and Kate, because everyone loved her.
Do you know, did you guys see the video where I had that tea with my friend from the UK?
Mm-hmm.
She's here. And I had my high tea.
Yes.
I've come to love tea with milk in it, by the way. Her sister is here visiting from the UK. Hi guys, because I know they're going to see this. And I said to her, would the UK ever take them back? And she goes, oh no. She goes, but they would take Harry back. I said, are you telling me that if Harry separated from Meghan, they would take Harry back? And she goes, yes, in a heartbeat. They'll take Harry back. That kind of slayed me when she told me that.
I kind of believe it, though.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe it. I believe it. The UK would take them back.
Yeah.
I think the UK would take them back. Hey, Dell, do you have something to add? Hello? Okay. Out.
Nope.
I don't know, but the problem is I think that there had to have been something very, very deep-seated and just at the core of Harry to be able to do what he did to his family, and to especially to his grandmother in the last day. And that's what's so heartbreaking when you think about it, because if he had had a strong sense of family and duty and love and respect and affection for his family, he would have cut all that off at the pass. He would have said, okay, wait a minute. There's a way to treat people and a way not to treat people. And
well, can I just say, Harry should have been the one protecting Meghan. Instead, it sounds like Harry kept running to Meghan with every little piece of juicy gossip, and got Meghan all riled up.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Well, Harry told me that this was said. Harry told me that was said. Harry said this.
Right.
Okay. Another lie from the Oprah interview. Here's another one. I was suicidal and I went to HR to ask for help. I'm like, okay, so your mother's that mental health counselor. You didn't ask her.
Nope.
Your doctors are hand-picked medical team because you didn't want their doctors. And in the UK, if I'm not mistaken, they ask you like every month, are you suicidal? Are you going to hurt yourself? She didn't go to them. Instead, she goes to her husband, who's a wet dish rag and didn't do anything for her, and admits that he did nothing for her. And then she says, well, I went to HR. Nobody in HR, they won't give the name of the person they spoke to, and nobody, they haven't been able to find the person in HR that she supposedly spoke to. And now, because people are talking about the fact that Harry didn't get her any help, now she's come out with the narrative, oh, he got me help. He put me in touch with a therapist. He got me the referral.
Well, I think someone had mentioned, do you remember how she said that she called the therapist while the therapist was in the grocery store?
Oh, crap.
I don't remember if it was Megan's Mole, Royal Grift. I forget. One of you ladies, maybe it was you, Sue, but you had said, I don't think that a licensed professional would just start speaking to her immediately right then and there had she phoned. She would have said, great, let's fill out the documentation, let's sign the waiver, let's do what we need to do so that I'm in a professional capacity now, willing and able to help you.
Correct. No therapist would have, while you're checking out your groceries, goes, oh, so tell me, what's happening?
Beep, 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 beep. Oh, half price of milk. Beep, beep. I'm like, come on.
Joni, people are loving you on here, man. She's such an angel. I love Joni. Joni, you don't have to come back again.
Go, Joni.
Go, Joni.
I don't know.
People are loving you. Well, because you're the voice of reason.
Well, you know, I see that Joni, Jennifer, and I, we have a commonality. My family is also half Latin. I'm half German on the other side. Yes, I'm very, very white. My little sister is darker. My family on my father's side, they're all different colors. So this seems kind of really annoying to people who come from mixed backgrounds. We all look different, even within our own families.
It's
and
just, it's
really,
tiresome. Exactly, Bella. It's
Yes.
tiresome. It's just old hat.
it is
Move on.
tiresome.
I
Move
gotta
on.
try to pull up a picture to show you guys something. Just talk amongst yourselves. Give me a second to go on my Facebook.
Okay,
Well,
I'll ask
yeah.
Joni and Jennifer, do you think that latest picture of Archie was really him? You know, we've seen so many versions of this kid.
You can't tell. You won't be able to tell.
And-
But my thing is, if I were the monarch, if I was King Charles, I would definitely have, and if Harry and Meghan broke up, you know, divorced, I would definitely do a DNA test and make sure that they were Harry's.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, ready?
Absolutely,
See
Joni.
how white I am?
Joni, correct. And that issue
Yeah.
gets brought up a lot.
Okay.
You see how white I am?
Mhm.
That's my wedding photo.
Let's see closer. Oh, so, oh, that's beautiful.
Notice the color of my skin.
Got a nice tan there, girl.
That's more than a tan. I was as dark as Joni.
Oh, no.
Well,
So
just the fact that Joni, when you said about the DNA test,
Mhm.
just the fact that they didn't press to have the birth certificate and the documentation presented to the public in the way that every other royal child's papers have been.
Mhm.
So that right there shows that they were being treated with a certain sense and degree of sensitivity that other members of the royal family weren't. You
You're
know
right.
what I mean? So what is wrong with showing the public the documentation on the child? The public
Here's my
has
thought.
I have a question, Sue. Because my thought is either they are not truly Harry and Meghan's and they were, you know, adopted, or it was done through a segregacy. I can't say that.
Surrogacy.
And if there's rules about that with the monarchy, there's issues. I don't know. But the pure fact that she went in and didn't handle things the way the rest of the monarchy does things shows, and she's entitled. Okay, I don't want to have it at the hospital. I don't want a regular doctor, but there's a reason why you have a doctor. There's a reason why, especially with her having a child later in life, the way she was doing, she was, you know, there's also.
I had my twins at 39. There's no way you're going to have an at-home birth. I called, you know what, on that.
I had my second child at 10 days before my 38th birthday.
You're absolutely right, Joni. I call, you know what, on that.
I had 6 rounds of in vitro to have my baby.
Can I just say?
And when you go to the doctor monthly for your monthly check, he's asking you how you're doing, what's going on, you know, any issues that you're having. So if indeed she was having these issues that she claims to happen when she was pregnant with Archie, it just sounds malarkey to me.
Of course it's malarkey.
Here's my thing. First of all, as far as the surrogacy goes, everybody's like, DNA test. If it's her sperm, I'm sorry, if it's her egg and his sperm, the DNA is going to show that it's their child. That's.
But her egg quality was older at that age. Not to get personal, but I went
the child has to be born of the body.
Of the body.
Right.
But even if it's her egg and his sperm, if they used a surrogate, Archie's not eligible to be in the line of succession. I always found it very odd that the baby bump was one day it was up here, and the next day it was down here, one day it was out here, and then the next day it was here, and it was swaying and it was moving, and you physically cannot kneel down past your 4th month because without spreading your legs to make room for your abdomen. And as short as she was, for sure. Now I'm very, very tall. I think everybody knows I'm well over 6 foot, like over.
Oh,
I couldn't do it. You
Mhm.
even though I had a lot of room for the baby to move up, I can't do it. And then they put the picture up, the baby. Catherine's thing, I believe, said she was delivered. Her baby is fine.
Was
Megan
delivered
said
as a boy.
the baby. It didn't say her baby. They were unsigned by a doctor. And I think they did the whole let's fool everybody, because I do believe that Archie came from a surrogate.
Sue, may I ask, do you believe a lot of people have said that Kate and Will initially put out a congratulations. They had baby by surrogate and then immediately took it down on
Now,
them. Is that true?
Yeah.
I honestly believe, here's what I believe that babe, I think she used a surrogate for Archie, not for the second baby. I think she did use a surrogate for the first one, but not for the second one. The second one, they were already in the United States. They were going to be seen, and that's why when you saw her in New York, she put on all that weight. That was the baby weight. She hadn't lost it yet. She was huge. Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with that. That was another thing.
Yeah.
She kept trying to cover it up with jackets and stuff. She could have shown that normal women don't go back to being stick thin like Catherine. 2 weeks after delivery, she had the perfect opportunity to show a real woman in her body, and instead she covered up with all these jackets. So I think she gave birth to the second one. I don't believe she gave birth to Archie. That's why she didn't want to be on the steps. She never had the ankle swollen. Even Catherine had swollen ankles. She never had swollen ankles. She never had swollen anything.
Sue, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? So I'm not in a position to say whether or not she used a surrogacy or not. At the end of the day, no one really knows if it was a surrogacy situation. But I truly think, and what do you ladies think, if she would have actually went to the Queen, her and Harry, and said, hey, this is our fertility issue as a couple. This is what we're going through. What do you think? I think that the Queen and the monarchy at that time was bending over backwards to welcome them and to show them that, yes, we're here for you. I really do think that the Queen probably would have allowed him to remain in the line, even if he was not technically born of her body. If she had been forthcoming and she had just come forward and said, no one would have denied that woman. That woman has never been denied anything in her entire life. She would have not been denied. The Queen is very gracious.
I think the biggest problem is, oh my God, the Queen. The biggest problem for Meghan was she wanted the kids to be called Prince and Princess. She even said it in the Oprah interview. She did. She goes, you're titling my children differently than the other grandchildren. That's what she said.
Right.
My children were never offered a title. They were offered titles. You didn't want those titles. You wanted, she goes, I don't care about titles. Yes, you do. You always wanted your children to have Prince and Princess. That was very obvious. Always. You wanted Prince and Princess. And you were upset that your kids didn't get it. And then you thought that it was automatic once Charles became king, and it's not. And because I believe that because the, what do you call it? I believe that because Charles hasn't given them what they want, the attacks continue. I think Charles is going to let the book come out. Charles is going to let the Netflix series come out. And then I think Charles is going to say, I've had enough. We're done here. I love you. You're my son. You'll always be my son. Your titles are gone. Kids aren't getting titles. You're not getting any more money from us. The family's not going to talk to you because you could be taping. Anything you have to say, send by email. And listen, the fact that they haven't sued Tom Bauer or Valentine Lowe speaks volumes.
Very
Oh,
telling.
yeah.
These are two of the most litigious people in the world. You said that about me. That's not true. You said that about me. That's two books that showed her to be conniving, a liar, and a bully, and they have not sued. And they hired Schillings, that same woman who went on that show, and said, well, Meghan's not a bully, but she wouldn't want to lessen anybody's experience, and blah, 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 blah. Schilling sent threatening letters to Valentine Lowe. And he said that, and to Tom Bauer, and they both said, I believe, that since they published their books, crickets, nothing. She can't sue when it's true.
Should
what
make a
about-
hashtag of that.
Isn't Trevor coming out with a book supposedly now?
Trevor, her ex-husband,
Hmm.
Oh, right. I heard that.
I'm going to buy that puppy. Let me
Yeah,
tell
that's
you.
going to be a good book.
That's going to be a good book. Yes, Trevor's coming out. That's the scuttlebutt. Trevor's coming out.
He's married now with his own beautiful family.
Oh my God, she divorced Trevor and Trevor married some woman who's worth like $500 million. Good for Trevor.
Yeah, go.
That might have
Trevor.
something to do why he's doing the book, you know,
Oh,
because
God.
she won't have anything to hang over his head.
Yes.
Because I mean, he seemed like a very nice, down to earth guy. I mean, obviously we haven't met him, but can you imagine trying to be private and go through his life and have
Talking about Trevity Trev.
yeah, and
Oh,
to have
dear.
people say things about him and have his life and everything out there. I mean, that must have been really hard for him.
You know what?
And
I
embarrassing.
can't
Yeah.
imagine if somebody went back into my life and said people in school didn't like her. She was this, she was that. Yeah, you're going to go back and find somebody I was in elementary school with from 50 years ago and interview them, you know, way on for you.
For it.
But you know what? That's why I put up that video letting everybody know about the accident, because I figured Boozy was going to find it and he was going to put it all out there. So I just figured I'd do it on my own.
Yeah.
That's why I put it out there. And of course, there were the comments about my lip, and I was like, you know what happened to my lip? And they're like, your teeth. Yeah, I paid a fortune. Well, I should say insurance did.
Well,
For the
Sue,
implants. Yes.
don't you believe he's going to disappear because he's being sued? And obviously, two lawyers are going to win.
I already spoke, made comments, inferred that if this became a class action, they could count me in.
Oh, awesome.
Because releasing my son's medical diagnosis, his whole thing was he was upset because I mentioned his daughter in one of my videos. The thing is, his daughter was over the age of 21, doesn't have any deficits, and I mentioned her because she's been mentioning him all over multiple platforms. She made horrible allegations about him abusing her.
Yeah.
But as soon as I mentioned her, he's like, he was telling people, he was encouraging people to call the nursing board and try to get my license pulled. Like, good luck with that. There's a nursing shortage. I don't think the hospital cares, but good luck with that. I remember telling my husband, could you imagine they're going to tell me not to come in and they're going to be short-staffed in the emergency room because Christopher Boozy's mad at me?
Christopher Boozy's angry with you.
I'm like, like, who are these people? They got to be kidding.
Well, Christopher Melcher seems like a shark, and he and Nate they seem like, so I'm dying to see the outcome.
I'm waiting for Jason Goodman's suit, because he filed his lawsuit. Christopher Boozy accused him of sexual assault and some other really horrible things. And he kept tweeting out, I'm not worried about a pro se attorney. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about that. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. And then the lawsuit hit, and he was putting, that's when he called the police and tweeted the picture of the police out the window. And he told all of his followers that crazy people were outside trying to get him. And his followers were all like, oh my God, Christopher, stay safe. Oh my God, thank God you're doing it. He was being sued. It was the process server. Everybody, I'm like, come on. Then he filed for the default judgment. All of a sudden, before that, he got his bankruptcy attorney to send Jason Goodman a threatening letter. The same bankruptcy attorney that sent me my cease and desist. I'm like, so Jason's like, he's like, Christopher's going to sue you. Jason's like, bring it on. Go ahead. Bring it on. Never heard from the attorney again. And then Jason won the default judgment. All of a sudden, he's got an attorney and he's fighting it.
Oh, great.
Jason could win some serious money.
Interesting.
So you can't.
Hopefully.
No, he will. You can't accuse people on social media of sexually assaulting people.
No, that's bad.
Just like you cannot accuse an attorney of planting evidence on social media. And supposedly he's working with Harry and Meghan to get rid of misinformation. That's misinformation.
Yeah, but that's all
Like-
they do.
Like, duh.
They're making millions on misinformation, no information, and straight out lie. And they're making, we're in a climate where that is payable.
Sue, have you made up your mind yet? Are you going to watch the entirety of the Netflix series for us so we don't have to be with the
Yes,
dull button
okay.
light?
You know how that whole thing came around because people said it was the same thing that happened with the Oprah show. People were like, oh, 7 million people watched it. Yeah, well, 55 million watched it when she interviewed Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You get an idea of like how really popular it was. It really wasn't. Yeah, people said, would you bite the bullet and watch the Oprah show for us? So I did twice, which is why my coffee fund for that week turned into the alcohol fund. Two times I had to sit through that thing. I was like, give me a drink. Like, I need a drink. So yes, people said, we don't want to watch it. We don't want to give Netflix the clicks.
Yeah.
So would you be willing to bite the bullet and watch this? And I said I would. A friend has access to Netflix and is going to give me access because, of course, I immediately canceled.
Yeah.
Listen, this is a train wreck in slow motion.
Mhm.
I'm not on the video tomorrow, which is Monday, right? At least checking my days now.
Monday.
Not on tomorrow, but on the one on Tuesday, I'm going to be, all the pictures that were in that their trailer. Like one of those pictures, Meghan is crying on this. She's back on this lounger with the white orchid next to her with the $2,000 Hermes blanket behind her. And she's crying because I can totally see somebody would say, wait, hold that pose. Okay, honey, go ahead, cry.
Apparently, that's the moment when she found out about the Roe v. Wade ruling. I don't think it had anything to do with institutional racism.
Right. But the point is,
yeah.
Who goes and takes a picture of their wife doing that? You don't just go comfort her. No, hold that pose, honey. You gotta take pictures.
What's even more disturbing is when you look at the stills, the black and white stills of all the photos that they put in that trailer. You start to think to yourself, how long have these cameras been trailing these two?
I think she had like you said, I think she had an agenda from the beginning. And
Yeah.
who goes on all these private places, like the one in the kitchen, who you just came home from the Royal Albert Hall from your final thing, and you have somebody, the one picture where Meghan's moving her hair to the side. I guarantee you the photographer was saying, Meghan, move your hair. We can't see your face. So she moves her hair and then they lean in for a kiss. This is all scripted.
Mm-hmm.
It's all scripted.
It's all
There was
staged.
a big stink with the first director who they separated. The reason there was a stink is because Harry and Meghan wanted it scripted. They're like, it's not scripted. Then they went around and taped their own stuff, which is what I think they did in New York. Listen, by the time they put this out, this is old. We already know what's going to be in it. The family, everybody was mean, the horrible things. It's the same whine fest. I've never seen people before make a living out of whining.
How long do you think?
Especially at that age.
Yeah. How long do you think the hype is going to be going on surrounding this show? Because I'm curious, because usually when Netflix release things, they release the entire series, right? So everyone's going to watch it. They're going to digest every single episode and be talking about all the hot points, right?
I think it's going to be like the Oprah show. I think people are going to watch it. They're going to digest it. They're going to prove the lies. And they're going to go, okay, it's over. What's next? Oh, wait, the book.
Right.
All right, here comes the book.
But what if he drops things in the book that weren't in the Netflix show? Wouldn't
I'm
that
sure he
anger-
will. I'm sure he will. But at this point, what they're trying to do is make it a bestseller. Yeah. And the bestseller doesn't go by money. It goes by how many copies are purchased, which is why on Black Friday, you could get that book for free on Amazon, which is why all over the place, they dropped the price of the book by half because they want people to buy this book so that they can say it's a bestseller.
Mm-hmm.
Most people that I know are not buying the book. I'm not buying the book. I'm not interested in that book. I bought Tom Bauer's book. Still waiting on Valentine Lowe's book. It's not available in the United States until January. But I'm pretty sure, again, since Harry and Meghan haven't sued either one of them, it's mostly true. We already know what's in that book. Harry's already said it in the Me You Can't See. They're trying to kill my wife because she's not white. My mother was chased to her death because she was dating somebody who's not white. Your mother was chased to her death because she, number one, was in a car with a drunk driver. Number two, wasn't wearing her seatbelt. Number three, got rid of her UK security on her own and was trusting Dodi Fayed's family to take care of the security. I mean, it had nothing to do. Yes, the paparazzi were chasing her. Absolutely, they were chasing her. But I think if they hadn't been speeding, if they hadn't been, and if the driver hadn't been drunk, and had she been wearing her seatbelt, she probably would have survived. But Meghan's got him truly believing in his heart that that she was chased to her death because the mother wasn't white, because the boyfriend wasn't white.
But he
Actually,
seems
he
like
was
such a
white.
disturbed man.
He was white. He was Egyptian. He was white.
And well, we're talking about the guy who thought there were 50 penguins stuck, escaped from Antarctica and stuck in Changa Changa. Was that what the Russian comedians told him? And he bought it. Didn't know Belarus was landlocked. Can't get a ship there.
Well, do you
Yeah,
know what
what
book I'm looking forward to? Archie's book. That's the book I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
Those poor
That would be
kids.
a great book.
Could you imagine? He's supposedly he's in school, but nobody ever sees him being dropped off or picked up.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you somebody would take a picture. I think that poor kid never leaves the house. He's unsocialized. He doesn't hang around with kids his own age. I think terrible.
When they get to be 13, 14, I think we all know those two clueless parents are going to get it. They are going to, they're clueless parents.
I agree.
They're keeping their children from the Queen of England. That's going to come back and bite them.
Look, Moon Gazy just wrote wait, it went by so fast.
What?
Archie's book, How I Survived the Harkles.
Well, you know, the Queen's gone, but he has a grandfather. He has uncles. He has cousins. He has a huge extended family that is literally being kept from him and her and the daughter.
Well, that's going to come back to bite them. We all know that.
I said that in a previous video of mine. The other children are being raised around cousins and aunts and uncles and family. And who does Harry and Meghan have? Doria. Just Doria.
That's it.
I don't think she's around that much either. I could be wrong.
That we hear so little about anybody except those two. It is tired. Tired is a
Tony,
good
what
word.
do you think about the whole Thomas Markle thing? Before we have to go, because we're way over an hour. What do you think about the whole Thomas Markle thing?
Thomas Markle.
She's yet to go visit him, and he's still recovering from a serious stroke.
That was Harry's first red light, flashing light, that she has no relationship with anyone in her family.
Anybody.
And anyone. She does not. Even with Doria, it does not seem like she has a good, healthy relationship with.
I think Doria does what she's told.
Yes,
I agree.
You guys think
that? And that's what, with my children, I have two, and before my son got married, that was one of the things I used to tell them: look at how they treat their family. Mm-hmm. If there's not a good relationship there, you need to find out why. And you walk in with your eyes wide open. Your eyes are half closed after marriage, because things happen. But you don't walk in just thinking things are all rosy. And I just think that the relationship that she had with her family, the fact that her father's sick. I mean, to me, I don't see anything different that Thomas Markle has done than what Meghan has done. But it's
the voice of reason.
Massive offense for him, but it's okay for her.
Well, I always wondered when he said in that interview, we're the family she never had. I thought, what did she say to Harry that made him
Yeah.
think
Think that, yes,
Right.
because I heard that Trevor said the same thing at their wedding.
right.
Really?
And
Mm.
you also heard that the Queen and at that time Prince Charles had asked her to try to make up with her father, and she didn't. She wouldn't.
Yes,
So,
you're right. A lot of people said that palace staff was trying to
Mhm.
arrange something to stop the nightmare.
right. So,
And
so my thought is, okay, why is it when your father has a massive stroke, heart attack, you can't even go check to see how he's doing?
who raised you?
No,
Yeah.
no. Instead, she hops on a private jet and goes to Uvalde, something that nobody else did because they knew
Oh,
that that was such a private thing, you know?
that
Mhm.
was bad.
Well, this was
Yeah.
even before all the structural racism talk started entering into the equation, right? I think
You
that,
and
I
my
think-
peeps, they will use the race card
right.
when
But,
there's nothing else left to do.
but if you
Because
look at
it's-
Thomas, he doesn't fit her ideal, what she wanted to present to him and his family. I frankly think she was just embarrassed of him. She didn't want him talking maybe off the cuff about her or her past. She
Correct.
considered him a liability.
Correct.
So, you know what? Let's just go ahead and just shuffle him off to the side. And how convenient. You have a heart attack. Oh, well, convenient for her.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know what? I
And
feel bad
I
for
think
him.
he half covers for her still also.
Well, I think, you know what? I think her narcissism and everything that's going on is his fault because apparently he never told her no growing up, like ever.
Yeah.
And
And
I
they
do
brag
think
about it.
she was embarrassed by him, by his, he was overweight and, I think she was embarrassed by him.
Yes. He didn't fit into her image of herself.
No.
Yes.
Nobody did who
Exactly.
raised her and grew up with her.
I personally think she didn't want the eyes of the world on her and her father had he walked her down the aisle.
Joni, I got a question on
agree.
here. I want to just read this really quickly. I think I can show it. There we go. Joni,
Uh-huh.
can you see that on the bottom of the screen?
No, so small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
very
it
small.
says, do you feel that Megan's black faces, or is it okay for her to make herself darker for certain events because she's mixed?
I think I answered that too. I sent a message out there, but I'll say it out loud. I think that Megan is playing to the crowd that she's speaking to. From what I hear, when she never even claimed that she was half black when she was on Suits or any of her other prior acting gigs. She didn't start saying that she's black until the thing with Harry. And then all of a sudden, the Markle side of the family has gone away. And now she's playing to the Doria side. And from what when she goes, what was the Invictus games that she was at, that she wore all the, okay, a lot of black people are there. So I'm going to present myself as I'm one of you. She's doing things the way I see politicians are handling things here in the United States. I'm from California. I mainly lived in a white area, if you want to go black and white, area of California, Southern California. So when they would have presidential debates or whatever, they would go to the black area because, a lot of my family is out there. We're African American. And you would hear them speak to the African American crowd and speak the way they wanted to hear it, which is a lot of the way you hear Meghan Markle speak. Then when they would go, 40 miles down the road to where the white areas are, the white churches or whatever. Now they're speaking a whole total different speed, they're presenting themselves a whole total different way. And I think that's what Meghan Markle is doing. I heard, and I can't remember who I was listening to, who showed who listens to what on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter, so I don't know how that works, but you can see who is the main people that are sharing your feed. And one of the main people who's sharing her feed they had listed was Hillary Clinton. So and Meghan Markle is quite, I'm hearing, is quite trying to put herself into the politics out here. So here she has Hillary Clinton, which Hillary Clinton was one of the people who was speaking when she was trying to run for vice president and then president. I think she's giving her advice. I think now that's my opinion. I have no proof on it. All I can do is what I see and what I hear. The African American female is so looking for someone to look up to. So Meghan Markle is using the African American female and trying to speak to their needs like she's part of us when she really isn't. And so when people see her, and you see that the African American female, and you'll notice that most of her people are African American, you're watching because of I'm not a speaker, and I'm sorry.
No, you're great.
You're doing great.
You're doing great.
You're watching how she has played into that agenda and to try to raise up the African American to support her. So I thought I saw someone say, how can a Black woman, support someone like that? And it's like you were saying, the average Black woman who respects herself and who wants to have people see her not as the Black woman, but as, a strong woman, because when I talk about myself, I don't say, oh, I'm a Black woman. I say, oh, I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. I love the Lord. And I talk about everything else that describes me. My daughter-in-law is white. My older grandson, his father is white. I might have Latina. My favorite sister-in-law is Latina. I have aunt that's also Latina. We are extremely mixed family. We don't sit around and talk about our race first. We talk about who we are. And Meghan is trying to put that race card in there to divide, to cause a massive division. She's causing a division not only with the monarchy, but with the country.
Joni, there's a question here that says, do you think that African Americans will vote for Meghan?
No.
I think a lot will.
Okay.
Okay. I hope not. There's another lady that I see that I've just started watching. She's African American, and she actually went to that thing in Indianapolis. I live near Indianapolis, and I had even put on somebody's thing. I don't know anybody I know who would attend Meghan Markle's, evening with the Duchess.
What did you hear about it?
Nobody.
I only know what I saw on YouTube, and looks like the Sussex, whatever. Meghan's people were there, definitely there, and they talked about how wonderful it was, and you kind of think, no, that, and it's not that I'm thinking that I didn't hear it, but anybody that you hear speak, you don't, oh, this was the greatest thing in the world. She's her big thing that she said is that, they tried to put me down, but they forgot that I am a seed. And I'm like, oh my God, didn't she say it on something else?
Yes.
Isn't this kind of, aren't we just pushing this propaganda, and that's how it is? And I'm sorry, the average Black person who has a mind, who thinks, is not buying Meghan Markle. Okay, they're not. But you know, my daughter, she works. Her boss is African American. She's not buying Meghan Markle. Anybody who has a common sense understands the game that she's playing, and she's playing it against our people, and she's using our people to promote her.
Yeah. I felt like that about Hilaria Baldwin. Really, I was offended by the whole cucumber thing. Yeah, really.
So that's
I'm a Latin
what
woman. It's
you know. I wish her. I pray for her. I wish that she would. She needs a massive healing in somewhere. She needs a touch from God.
yeah.
But, or something. I don't know. But I when
I have one more.
they were dancing in the street. I remember watching the wedding thinking, why isn't anybody hollering, stop? No, no.
What dancing in the street?
Oh,
Oh, you mean like when Mandela was released and
yeah.
people were dancing in the street?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking, what is wrong with the monarchy? Why aren't they saying no and putting a stop to this? Why are they allowing this to happen?
I have a
probably
question.
too late.
I have one more
late.
question before we end this, because I watch some of these other lives and they go for 3-4 hours and I can't. So one more question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody here watches The View.
No.
Okay. So what you have is Whoopi Goldberg and a bunch of women sitting around a table fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, that's what they do. I don't really watch them. After what they did to Sharon
I agree.
Osbourne, and I did a video on that, by the way, because the host, the co-host who did that to Sharon Osbourne, stood up for somebody else, and who made some racist comments, and smoothed the whole thing over, but threw Sharon Osbourne under the bus because she didn't make a comment, but she supported Piers Morgan. So she was thrown off The View.
That was
you have to
so
go back.
unfair.
Yes, Dakota just wrote hateful show. Yes, it's hateful show. So anyway, there's this woman on there named Sunny, and she was going on about Marlene. I'm calling her Marlene because I can't even pronounce the other name that she picked out of a hat. And I think she did, Beverly. She picked it out of her hat. And she was talking about her and pointing out the fact that, she said this and this. And somebody else pointed out to Sunny that Sunny is not her name. She uses a different name. So what's wrong with that? And then they got into this whole discussion. But what it came down to was this woman, Sunny, whoever she is, said that she believed every word that dripped out of Meghan Markle's mouth. And I just went, so even though here's a very well-educated African-American woman on a TV show who has been given evidence that shows that Meghan Markle lied. And she sat there on The View and said she believed every word that came out of Meghan's mouth. And I just went, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, before we go, Joni.
Yes.
Wait, where'd it go?
Oh, no.
There you go. Can you see that?
Hey, Joni, please, what is it?
Please do your own channel.
Oh, no. I don't know. Sue, you know how horrible you are at electronics?
Yes, I'm very bad at electronics.
I'm worse.
I'm bad as well.
Okay. It took me forever to
I'm
figure
no help.
on to you. So, no. Thank you.
Like I told before, the Duchess of North Sussex had to show me how to use StreamYard. Like I couldn't even figure it out on my own. I had to have help.
Okay.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I'm terrible.
I would need help.
I mean, this is why everybody wants to know why my videos run 24 hours behind.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Okay.
It takes me so long to make these videos and to
Mhm.
put the pictures in and then change them and change the thing. And then somebody, I get emails from people, did you know this? Did you know that? So then I start researching and then I go down the rabbit hole and then I can't find what I'm looking for. And I'm like, okay, wait, stop. I got to go back to this. And then and just back and forth and back and forth. And it takes me freaking forever to get my videos done. But that's why I do 24 hours behind that. And the fact that, more information comes out that I try to put in.
Right.
Anyway,
And,
Well,
and
we love your
we,
channel.
we love you. I agree.
thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate all the effort that you put in to try,
Yes. Let's end it that way. I agree.
you know. So that's one
Thank you,
reason why
Sue.
to watch your channel.
I just fell into it.
Mhm.
It's so
Really?
crazy. And then once I retired from the emergency department, after all those years, suddenly I had too much time on my hands and I needed to do something. And I want you to know that I asked my two sons, especially the one that does have autism, he is a computer freaking whiz. Would you mind helping me set up a YouTube account? He was like, what? It's a YouTube account. Both my sons laughed at me and refused to help. And I said, listen, if this goes anywhere, I was making a joke, of course. If this goes anywhere, I'll give you a percentage of the profits. And they laughed at me. It took me like 2 weeks of Googling to figure out how to do it all. Like I'm that bad at it. So, and of course, now my kids are like, can I help? And I'm like, don't need it, but thanks. Done.
Right.
So, and for those of you who've written in, I'm just going to say, I'm going back to the whole two things. First of all, the Netflix thing. Yes, I'm going to take one for the team because I don't want them to have the clicks. So if I can watch it and give you guys a summary so you don't have to click. Yes, my coffee fund might once again turn into the alcohol fund very, very quickly. Number two, for those who've written in asking about my son, the one that lives with us, he always hits the dean's list and the president's list. He's ridiculously smart, as most kids with autism are. And he, even though nobody thought this was going to be possible, he is graduating college in 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
I could not be prouder. And he's already put out feelers for jobs. And
Congratulations, Sue.
And we'll see. And Lizzie, half my family is from Austria. My mother had blonde hair and green eyes and was very pale. And the other half comes from Russia. There you go. Easy. So
I'm afraid I'm boring. I'm really English.
You're not boring.
My mum came from northern, trying to think of a place now, Hartlepool up north. My dad came from London, but his family originated from Scotland. I haven't gone much further back than that. That takes us to about 1830.
If everybody will remember to send emails to, and by the way, there's been a lot of spam on my channel. People are writing to me. Don't respond to those, please. You know, they say click here and join me on this chat. Don't respond. The only way you can reach me is through Sue Smith 1112 at Yahoo. That's it. Please leave the rest of it alone. It's spam. It's not real. Okay, just leave it alone. And Joni, everybody's saying you really made an impression, Joni.
Oh,
people are saying they want you to come back.
okay.
I agree.
That's up to you. But you have to let me know.
Well, you'll have to email me and say this is Joni, so I have your email address, and then we can communicate offline.
Okay.
And we'll arrange something.
Okay.
So you can come back and give your fabulous perspective.
Okay.
But thank you to all of you. Come back. All of you. We'll arrange. Look, somebody wrote, "Be careful about your heritage. It could get you in trouble." Okay. So if everybody will also email Sue Smith 1112 at Yahoo. I need a list of things to see while I'm in the UK for the whole week. Somebody said there was some sort of what do you call it? A cruise down the Thames,
Mhm.
and it stops at Trader's Gate or something. Like there's all kind. I need
Outside the tower, outside the Tower of London.
Yeah.
I want to see that too. Like I need to make a list of the things that I want to see while I'm in the UK. A big
How long will you be here for?
a week, a whole
Wow.
7
Oh,
days.
nice. When are you
I haven't
going?
seen everything. You
Yeah, I know.
When are you coming?
I know I'm not going to get it all in. Next September, towards the end of September, we're gonna go to Rome first.
Oh,
nice.
lovely.
And wait a minute, I am South Africa, and I can promise you there was no dancing in the street because of Meghan's wedding. As a matter of fact, 80% of South Africans had no idea who Meghan Markle is. There you go. I think that's one of those super sticker things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not used to getting this. Somebody wrote also that alcohol funds are mandatory. Okay. We're going to start in Rome. We're going to spend, I think, about 5 days in Rome.
Thank you.
And then, and of course, I'm going to want to go to Pompeii. And I want, again, the touristy things, the Trevi Fountain, the Colosseum, you know, all that stuff. Then after the Vatican. Hi!
This is Nathaniel.
Hi, Nathaniel. Loving the hair, man.
And you have a lot.
A lot of hair. Then we're going to go to the UK, and then we'll be in the UK for a week. And during that week, I need like a list of things. We need to plan out, you know, on this day we're going to do this and this, because we don't want to kill ourselves, but yet I want to see so much. There's so much I want to see.
Where are you going to be staying in England? In London?
Yes.
Right. Because what I could do is I could put together a few things that are within London that are easily accessible. And if you want to get out of London, a couple of other things.
That would be fabulous. But I mean, I want to see Whitehall. I want to see the chapel where Anne Boleyn is buried. I'm a big Henry VIII guy. I want to see
Tower of London.
Yeah.
Want to see the Tower.
Westminster.
Westminster Abbey. I want to see the cathedral where Diana was married. Like there's a big list. I mean, there's a list. So what I need to do is make a big list. On this day, we're going to go do these 5 things. On this day, we're going to go.
I don't know if you could see her grave. I think Diana is buried on her family's estate. I forget.
Yeah, she is. I just want to see the chapel.
But she's on an island.
Yeah.
I want to see where she was married. I'm not interested in going out to the estate.
St. Paul's.
St. Paul's Cathedral, yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a lot of things. Oh, another one. Wow. Will King Charles treat H&M activities as treason? If he's got half a brain, he will.
Some of the things could be treated as treason if they're speaking against the crown and the country. That could be seen as treason, and I think it is possibly still a death sentence. But we won't be that lucky.
Well, I need you guys to send me. Somebody else said go to York, Hampton Court, St. Paul's, the Tower where Meghan was held.
Hampton Court. Hampton Court. If you like King Henry VIII, you gotta go to Hampton Court.
I want to see the Great Hall with the beams, with the eavesdroppers. You know, the faces to let people know you can always be heard. The eavesdroppers.
Oh yeah.
Also in Hampton Court, I'll have to find where it is. But after Anne Boleyn was executed, Henry had everything to do with Anne Boleyn taken out.
Yeah,
but they missed
one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Henry and Anne, or an H&A, and they missed one, and I can't remember where it is, but they did. I know
where it is. It's right under as you're going under the apartments. The windows are above, and you're walking.
Oh right.
And you look up, and there it is.
And then
can you tell I love all that stuff?
And then of course you have to go to Windsor, because when you walk into St. George's Chapel, you walk right over the graves of King Henry and Jane.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jane Seymour. Mm-hmm.
I need a list. So if you guys would all send me your lists, it would be great.
Stratford-on-Avon is beautiful, and when you see Shakespeare's home, his bed was like this big.
Shakespeare's house. See, I didn't even think of that.
It
And I
was,
The
think
other-
you have to take tours too. You have to take the Jack the Ripper tour. You have to take the Charles Dickens tour.
I love the Jack the Ripper thing. Yes, I got to do that too.
Creepy. It's at night.
really? Sounds
Really?
There's
Yeah.
a bunch of tour companies that do that particular route, that tour. And from what I hear, they're all good. But the one that I took way back in the day in 2014, it was at night, and you're walking in the East End of London in that same area. And a lot of the areas, obviously, they don't look the same, but it's creepy because you'll stand there and they'll say, on this spot was where he, murdered Catherine Eddowes or whatever it is. And you're like,
Yeah, somebody else just said Hever Castle.
mhm.
Yeah,
Is that-
that's
Where's that?
it's not far from here. It's in Kent. It's where Anne Boleyn's family lived, and I
Right.
think
I mean, how far away from London is that?
oh blimey, not far. I mean, it's about 20 miles or so.
Okay, somebody else said Bath. Go to Bath.
Bath.
Oh, that is far too far.
Is that too far? Okay. And then somebody
Yeah,
else said I climbed Mount Snowdonia
Oh,
Back in
lovely, you're in
19
Wales.
back in 1985. They have a train now. Somebody else said yes, Birth. Yes, Birth. Definitely Hampton Court. Yeah. So anyway, send me those emails, people, because I really, really, in March we're gonna book the tickets and the hotels, and then like May, June, you start. In Stonehenge.
Right.
Yep. And then May, June, you start, booking, deciding what you're going to do on what day, and you start
Yeah.
booking your itinerary. And I'll have to let everybody know when I'm there. We could all meet up at people that are in London, we could all meet up at a pub and have a drink. That would be cool. All right.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They said Diana's not on the island, but in the family chapel with other family members, there's an iron enclosure. Iron enclosure. What? I thought she was on that little island.
I thought she was. I thought that was the idea, so that she was away from everybody.
I don't know. That's what this person is saying. But anyway, yeah, I need lots of suggestions because there's a lot to see. So you guys send me, Bella and Jennifer and Beverly and Joni. You have my email address, so send me your information and we'll meet up and we'll do this again.
So what was it? Sue Smith?
Sue Smith 1112 at Yahoo. If you go to my
At Yahoo.
channel and you go up into the description box, there's a link there.
Oh, great.
Everything is in my description box.
Sue, thank you for all that you do, hun. Seriously.
Oh,
Yes.
you're welcome. I love it.
You have no
love to
idea.
say-
And I hate it when they call the channels in this community royal gossip.
Oh, I thought we were single-minded hate
You
account.
know what? Well, it's not about gossip. It's about correcting factual inaccuracies.
This
because
is not gossip, it's prayer concerns.
right, right?
It's not the same thing. Oh my God.
There is
We
one
love
good.
you, Sue. We love you, Sue. And
Thank
yes, thank you
you.
for the channel. I enjoy it. I look forward to it in the mornings.
I'm
sure
glad
your,
everybody enjoys it.
The other 500,000 do too. I see you're very popular.
You know what? I got to be honest. I have less than half of the subscribers that Murky Meg and Taz have, and Padina, but they're all fabulous. Everybody reports the same thing, but we all report it in a different way.
Yeah.
I only started watching when Taz did a thing about the Revenge book. Because I was watching something called AJ Tudor, who was basically dissecting the book for narcissistic types.
HD
Basically.
Tudor. I love him.
It was literally, he was dissecting the book as you would dissect a narcissist, as with Meghan. And from that, I then went on to Taz's because she went through the book.
Yeah.
And I went on to other people from her.
See, I didn't go through the book because, and I'm very careful what I put up because I didn't want a copyright issue. I'm trying not to give YouTube any reasons to my channel, especially after what just happened to Trevor.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
HG Tudor got thrown off, and somebody who shall not be named took credit for it when it actually had nothing to do with him. And then when HG Tudor came back, he went a little, blonkers. And when I got thrown off due to a bot attack, when I came back, that same person went a little bonkers. And apparently they're saying that Murky Meg is going to get her Twitter back. So, and Yankee Wally is going to get hers back. And let's see what happens.
Wow.
But I'm keeping the Patreon up. If I should end up getting tossed, you guys will know where to find me.
Well, I especially like the way that you give airtime to the working royals like Sophie and, Edward and everybody else out there actually working for the monarchy. That's very important.
People in the UK, Beverly, I don't know if this is true, but people in the UK told me that they don't get coverage on the working royals in the UK. I was like, what?
They don't get that much. I think they're getting more because now Charles is really landing himself in it by going on about a streamlined monarchy, because Anne's over 70. The Duke of Kent, is over 80. The Gloucesters are over 80. And they're not going to be able to carry on. So really, the only ones they have are Edward and Sophie.
Well, they have Edward, Sophie, William, Catherine, and in a little bit, I got to tell you that George is how old now?
9.
9.
He's 9 years old. So I think right about the time that Anne and them start to go, I think George will be old enough to start taking stuff up, because longevity in that family people seem to go into their 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
So I think that Anne and Edward will go on for another 15, 20 years. And I think by then George will be 24? And Charlotte will be 22.
Yeah.
And of course, I don't know whether there'll be an option for Lady Louisa to do.
Lady Louise is being given her option, but she's going off now to university, but she'll be back in 4 years. And she might come back and decide she wants to work for the monarchy.
Yeah.
So,
she's brilliant. She is wonderful.
I love
She's
her.
lovely, that little
Very
young
pretty.
lady.
She's very pretty.
Yeah.
So,
I
She
like
is.
her too.
all right, guys, don't forget to send me those emails, and I hope everybody has a fabulous day. I'm going to go
You
cook dinner. I'm
too,
going to be a
Kid
good
Finn. Kid Finn.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget my email. Joni,
I will.
Beverly.
Yes, I will.
Will do.
Have a great day.
everybody.
Nice meeting you, ladies.
Nice meeting
Bye.
you all.
Bye.